Syberia Designs is turning 1 this month, and to celebrate, they have an amazing release filled with birthday stamps, dies, stencils, foil plates, just so many fabulous birthday designs. Plus, they're doing a ton of giveaways, and there are even a whole bunch of sponsors. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and this video is part of the Syberia Designs anniversary YouTube hop for turning 1. All the details about the hop will be in the YouTube description box below the video. Let's take a look at the fabulous things they sent me this month to celebrate their first birthday. First up, these are the nested stitched circle die set. There's 2 circles and they have cut on the outside and then the little faux stitching on the inside. There's also a slimline version. These are the illuminated night sky foil plates and dies. I like how all 3 come together and the die is all together and they cut all 3 out individually. This is the flickering candles layering set, the celebration sentiments stamp set, and the thin stripes cover die. So you can see you can use that thin stripes for cardstock or to cut out those sentiments. This is the cheerful panda moments stamps and dies, the celebrate with cake stamps and dies, as well as the birthday and wish foil plates and dies. So the shadow of the dies cuts out those foil plate designs as well as the die designs. And this is the It's Your Birthday foil plate and die. So you can foil and then cut it out. And these are the Delicate Blooms embossing powders. This is from Wow with a collaboration with Syberia Designs for their birthday. And it's a beautiful pink, yellow, and light blue. Now let's use all those supplies to make some fun birthday cards. Let's start out by doing all the foiling. So these are the illuminated night sky foil plates. As I said, there's 3 in 1. So you could use it just foiled and create that 3 kind of firework looking design, or you can use the dies and then cut those out. So you're either making a background or you're making elements. And I just went to town and foiled them in a number of colors on different colors of cardstock. I have rainbow on white, I have a rose gold, I have some on pink cardstock and blue cardstock as well. This is the sentiment that says it's your birthday, and I'm gonna foil a number of sentiments as well. Remember that we can cut those out with the dies so that you can pop them up. But check out that gorgeous script. Again, I foiled them in gold and rainbow, blue on a light mint, gold on a pink. I just wanted lots of options. And this is what I do. I do all my foiling at once. I try to get a mix of colors, backgrounds, cardstocks, things like that. This is the wish and birthday sentiment. There's also a make a and a happy that you just cut out into a sentiment strip. So again, did that in gold. And here are all the dies that we can cut these out with. I like to cut everything out so that I can pop it up. And you can see all these different elements are foiled and then die cut. And that makes it really fun if you have them all done to then quickly be able to create cards with them. For this first card, I'm going to use the illuminated night sky foil plates and dies. I cut out some gold on pink and then some rose gold on white cardstock, and I'm placing them all kind of in a cluster together. I'm using lots of foam tape to pop them up and then foam tape for the It's Your Birthday. And then I have the pink background matted on some gold foil cardstock in the back. For this next card, I have the pandas. I just stamped them in black ink, and I don't think you need to do any coloring on them because pandas are black and white. If you wanted to add some shading, absolutely you could. I decided to go with the easier route and only color in the little birthday hat. And I'm coloring it, of course, in a little rainbow and then die cutting that out by putting the die in place and holding it in place with some washi tape. Then I have a white piece of cardstock. I've cut it down just a little bit smaller than A2 so I can mat it on some black cardstock. And this time I'll use the illuminated night sky rainbow foil on white cardstock. Then I'm using a little bit of liquid glue to adhere the little birthday hat to one of the pandas behind his head. And then I pop up the pandas, the illuminated night sky elements, as well as the sentiment, which says wish. I'm going to add a little sentiment strip that I foiled that says make a, and I love this. I practiced happy birthday with a block because everything was already adhered down, but I wanted one more element right in this corner here next to that panda to say happy birthday. And I think it came out just right. So I love creating with these different elements together. Here I have the It's Your Birthday sentiment. It's foiled and on some mint cardstock. I'm going to cut out the illuminated night sky elements in half so that I have double what I had before, and then I'll place them sort of around the outside of the card on some white cardstock, and I'm just using liquid glue to adhere them down. I did pop up that sentiment in the center. So this was a really fun card to create, but super, super simple, especially because all of the foiling and die cutting was already done. All I had to do was come up with the idea and then glue everything down. I did add some little dots of liquid glue all around because I felt like there was some extra open white space. It could just be fine just the way it is, but I wanted to add a little bit of that embossing powder that I showed you at the beginning. That is the collaboration between WOW and Syberia Designs. So I'm pouring that embossing powder right over top of the liquid glue, and I'm just going to make some little dots of embossing powder by using that liquid glue and the embossing powder together. Once it's kind of dry and settled, I will then heat set it so that the embossing powder shows how beautiful it is when it's heat set. And that is, again, a really quick and easy card to pull together. For the next card, I was excited to use the Celebrate with Cake stamp set. So you can see I'm stamping each layer of the cake with a different color of ink, and then I used those 3 colors of ink to stamp some little additional accessories on the top of that cardstock there. Now I have some layers that go on top of the layers of cake, some dots, some stripes, and some little scallops, and I used Versamark ink on top of the ink that I already had, and then I was able to pour different colors of the Delicate Blooms embossing powder set on top, and I think I got colors of ink that really go well with those embossing powders. That was just by luck, I think. So I am stamping and heat embossing the platter at the bottom, or the cake holder, the cake platter, and I'm using some embossing powder for that. There's also a little, you could do it in several different colors if you wanted to, of ink. I did them all in Versamark, and I'm doing the whole thing with silver embossing powder on top. So I'll just heat set that. It looks like a silver platter that the cake is sitting on. Then you can, once you die cut those layers of the cake, you can adhere that right on top of that white background that I die cut with the silver platter at the bottom. And then it's all coming together really nicely. So now you can use all of those flowers and hearts and little designs to decorate the cake any way you want, which is so much fun. Here I have the nested stitched circles. I cut the smaller one out of white and the larger one out of pink, layered them on top of each other, and placed them on an A2 piece of light blue cardstock. Now I'll place some foam tape behind that cake that I have created and pop that right up in the center of that white stitched circle. There's a little candle that you can stamp and die cut, and a little kind of sparkle that you can put on top of that. Next up, I'm stamping the Celebration Sentiment stamp on an A2 piece of white cardstock. You can see it perfectly fits, and then the thin strips cover die perfectly fits on top and cuts out each one of those sentiments as a sentiment strip, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I love it. And then you have a ton of birthday sentiments already cut out. I chose May All Your Wishes Come True for this birthday cake. For the next card, I'll use the Flickering Candles Layering Stencils. So these are slimline sized stencils. There's 4 of them. Basically, I have a piece of white cardstock that is the same size as the stencil, and I have the cardstock on the grip mat from Waffle Flower, and then I've placed the stencil on top, and I used just a little bit of washi to hold it in place on top of the grip mat, and that worked out just fine. And then I'll use the Slimline nested stitch dies to cut out those candles, and then another sentiment from that sentiment strips that I already cut out that says, "May your birthday be as wonderful as you are." I don't know about you, but I always need new birthday cards to be added to my stash, so this release is perfect for me. Don't forget that this video is part of a YouTube hop, and all the details about the hop will be in the YouTube description box below this video. Happy birthday to Syberia Designs, and thanks so much for inviting me to be part of this celebratory hop. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, I'm definitely getting too hot. Just gotta turn this off now.